You shouldn't let him do that, Betty. You're trying to make out like Kathy's not right in the head.
No, it's just his job, love. He has to make things look better for Steve. Are you all right, love?
Not really.
Look, you don't want to let that brief upset you. He's a nasty piece of work, Kathy.
Look, Butch, why don't you go back inside, love? Let me have a word with Kathy.
OK. I'll just go and check what's going on.
Right. You did ever so well, love. I bet you're glad it's all over, though.
I suppose so. I'm just not sure I've done the right thing.
And you told the truth. That's all you could do.
But the barrister was right. It did all happen very quickly. What if I got it wrong?
Mr. Marchant, you've told the court how you and your wife planned the theft and subsequent insurance fraud. But let us concentrate for a moment on the events leading up to Mrs. Glover's injuries. Now, clearly, the theft was an operation that required split-second timing.
Absolutely. Kim had planned it all meticulously. And everything seemed to be going to plan until just after I left home farm, when my mobile rang. I knew it was Kim. Her name came up on the display, so I realized there must be something wrong.
So you were in a state of some panic when you answered the call?
Well, I was concerned, yes. She filled me in on the conversation with Reverend Thomas, so I could pretend to have been present all along. Kim was very thorough over that type of detail.
But there was another problem she hadn't allowed for.
Yes, though I didn't realize it at the time. I was distracted by the phone call, and I hit something. I thought it was a deer.
But you later found out this wasn't the case.
When I heard about what had happened to Kathy, I realized I must have accidentally hit her.
And what were your feelings when you learned this?
I was devastated. Kathy's a neighbor, a friend. I would never knowingly do anything to harm her.
Some people may attempt to cast doubt upon your remorse. You freely admitted to 2 crimes, and they may suggest that this accident was not an accident at all, but a deliberate attempt to silence a witness.
Well, that's not true. As far as I was concerned, this was all about money. I never wanted anyone to get hurt.
Thanks very much. I might need to borrow it again later.
Mr. Marchant, I imagine you've used a mobile phone in a vehicle before.
Yes?
But you don't have a record for mowing down innocent pedestrians.
Objection, Your Honor.
Sustained. Please stick to the case in hand, Miss Sharp.
I will rephrase the question, Your Honor. Why do you expect the jury to believe that a simple phone call caused you to drive dangerously?
I was on edge. The call distracted me.
But you were aware that you had hit something or someone.
I thought I'd hit a deer.
A deer. That's a large animal, which would suggest a large impact. Most people would stop and investigate. Why didn't you?
Kim told me to hurry back, or we'd be found out.
So you were too busy trying to save your own skin to stop and check what or who you had hit. I put it to you, Mr. Marchant. You were perfectly aware that you'd hit Mrs. Glover.
No.
Indeed, it was your intention to run her over.
That's not true.
But you're not denying that you and Mrs. Glover were the only people on that road that night?
No.
Or that you were driving a stolen vehicle away from the scene of the crime when you saw Mrs. Glover?
I didn't see her.
But she saw you. Indeed, later she was able to identify you, which spoiled all that careful planning. Now, isn't that what was going through your mind as you drove at her?
I didn't drive at her. I didn't see her.
I put it to you, Mr. Marchant. The only genuine remorse you feel is that Mrs. Glover survived her injuries. Since if you had succeeded in killing her, this case might never have come to court.
That's not true. It was an accident.
Mr. Marchant, I have here a transcript of a taped interview at Houghton Police Station, in which you state that the theft was both planned and executed by you, and you alone. Your wife was not involved in any way. I take it you don't deny this account was freely given?
No.
But you subsequently gave another account, in which you tried to shift the blame onto Mrs. Marchant, and you now insist that that is the truth.
Yes.
So this is a tissue of lies.
Objection, Your Honor.
Overruled. The defendant has admitted that the account was untrue.
You're very good at lying, Mr. Marchant, as those who suffered from your financial dealings could testify. Why should the jury believe one word you utter in this court?
I'd agreed to take the rap for Kim. That's why I told the police I was acting alone. It was only when I realized she was selling me out that I changed my story.
Shortly after your wife started divorce proceedings against you. What prompted this startling U-turn? The news of the divorce, or the person who brought it? Whilst on remand, you were visited on a number of occasions by Mr. Christopher Tate, which in itself is surprising since in the past you'd not got on well. But I believe it was he who informed you of your wife's intention to start divorce proceedings.
Yes.
What else did you find to discuss during these visits?
I really don't recall.
Did you discuss this case?
We may have.
Did you, in fact, concoct a story between you in an attempt to get your wife into the dock?
Objection, Your Honor. These allegations are mere conjecture. Mr. Tate is not on trial here.
Mr. Derbyshire?
Your Honor, I intend to call Mr. Tate to the stand. He will have the opportunity to describe these meetings. But it is our contention that he and Mr. Marchant concocted evidence against my client.
Objection overruled. You will answer the question, Mr. Marchant.
Yes. We discussed the case because we both know she's as guilty of the theft as I am. If anyone deserves to be locked up, it's her.
Have I missed much?
Mr. Derbyshire opening Kim's defence.
What did he have to say for himself?
She's a loyal wife and a devoted mother, and she stood by her husband, even when he conned her out of all the money.
Kim.
She only decided to divorce him when she found he'd turned to a life of crime and put an innocent woman's life in jeopardy. She sounded like a cross between Joan of Arc and Florence Nightingale by the time he'd finished.
And they call us villains.
Shouted through the door.
So, you and Mrs. Marchant were both under the impression that Mr. Marchant had been up there in the bedroom all along?
Yes. I know it seems odd him behaving like that when he had a dinner guest, but Kim was used to it.
How long was she out of the room?
A few seconds.
So, apart from then, Mrs. Marchant was with you all evening?
Yes.
Thank you, Miss Tate. No further questions. And stay there, please.
You say that Mrs. Marchant was with you all evening, and yet the Reverend Thomas recalls her leaving the room to take the rubbish out.
She may have done, I don't recall.
You don't recall. No doubt it was a very pleasant evening. A good meal, some wine, perhaps?
Yes.
How much wine was consumed over this meal, Miss Tate?
A couple of bottles, I think.
Between you and Mrs. Marchant. So you probably drank about a bottle yourself.
Yes, I didn't have to drive. It's a short walk home, and we were enjoying the evening.
I'm not criticizing your drinking habits, Miss Tate. But the jury may like to note that the Reverend Thomas was sober at this point. So his recollections of the evening are probably more accurate than yours.